Hello, and welcome to another episode of excuse me, CGN Live. I am your host tonight. I am Taylor Talks Comics. We are here to talk about all the great comics and graphic novels that we will have on sale at cheapgraphicnovels.com on Monday, July 31st. We're getting into the first week of August, but also we will have these on sale the last day of July. So be prepared for that. If you're in the chat, thank you for joining me. Please say hello. Let me know that you're here. And if you've never been here before, never watched the show, I appreciate you being here. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But we do these shows every week. Typically, they're on Thursdays in the afternoon. But I had to do some primetime showings the last couple weeks. And as you can see, this is actually where my library used to be. We're in the process of moving and whatnot, so I don't have the cool books bookcase behind me, but the show must go on. But yes, this is Cheap Graphic Novels, and this is CGN Live. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CheapGN. Follow us on Facebook. You can type in Cheap Graphic Novels in the search bar there and find us. We also have a weekly newsletter that goes out that you can subscribe to. And you want to subscribe to that because you also get email blasts whenever we have sales. And if you are a subscriber, then you got the email blast this afternoon letting you know that we have restocked the Nick and Dent section of the website. Like over 2,000 books were added. So the Nick and Dent sale it's kind of like a all sales are final kind of thing, where we might get some books with some slight damage to them that we cannot sell up to our standards at normal cover price. So we put them in the Nick and Dent sale with a bigger discount that you guys can benefit from, adding some books to your collection, maybe for some cheaper prices. I would definitely check that out. The list, there's a lot of omnibuses, a lot of epic collections. I think there's some absolutes in there, deluxe editions, a lot of normally expensive books for heavier discounts, and you can pad out your collection with them, or maybe it's a book that you didn't want to pay the normal discounted price, but you will try it out at a heavier discount. Maybe try it out with the Nick and Dent sale. It's always good for those kinds of things. Or adding volumes to a bigger collection if you're trying to collect like every X-Men Epic collection or something. You can add some volumes for cheaper prices there. Again, if you're in the chat, please say hello, drop a line, let me know what you've been reading lately or what books you're excited that are coming out soon. As I pull up the website, I guess I never do a good job of sharing what I've been reading lately. Lately, I've been reading a lot of Silver Age Doom Patrol with my son. That's been our bedtime stories lately, which is exciting. Then I've been reading a lot of 8 Ball by Dino Klaus. It's been a reread of sorts, and I caught up on Red Room by Ed Piskor. It's one of my favorite horror series that's been coming out lately. All right, I'm ready to share my screen. So now, let me know what you guys have been reading in the chat, please. Share my screen here. And pick that one. All right. Now, you can see the website and what books we're going to be selling next week. These will be coming out, like I said, Monday, July 31st. And we have 47 books to share tonight. So I'll pump through these. The first one is Marvel Comics Library Volume 4, X-Men Volume 1, 1963 through 1966. These are the huge Taschen books. I showed them off on previous streams before. They're much larger than even a DC Absolute Edition. I believe they're like 12 inches tall. No, that's not right. Let me look up the dimensions real fast. I thought they're 12 inches, but that doesn't sound right because that's just bigger than a Absolute. Let me see here. Looking at the dimensions, it looks like they are, maybe it's 18 inches. Yes, that's what they are. 12 by, okay, sorry. 12 by 15 and a half inches. So 15 and a half inches tall, about 12 inches width-wise, or across. But these are awesome books. They're like true facsimile editions. They collect every ad, every letter page, as if the same exact way that the books originally, these issues came out in single issues. And the cover stock on the inside is actually like a thicker, glossy stock. But then the interior pages of the comics themselves are like they're due to mimic, they're made to mimic newsprint, but they're like a thicker matte paper. And then the scans are actually really well done photographs. So it actually is like a true facsimile to what the books looked like originally. And I preferred this treatment of reprints. I wish that Marvel would do these with all their omnibuses and whatnot, but they're not. So I've been getting these Taschen books. This one collects the first 21 stories of X-Men comics. So, like I said, the title, this one's volume 4 of the Marvel Comics library. Now on the spines, it only says volume 1, so don't like fret if you only wanted just the X-Men or something like that. You're not going to have a weird volume number on your shelf. But this is volume 4, because the first one was Spider-Man, then they did Fantastic Four, and then the Avengers. Is that the order? No, I don't think so. I was gonna say, is that the same order that the Marvel Masterworks came out in? They have the kind of funky order too. Then we have Terry and the Pirates Master Collection Volume 5. Let me know if you're getting these. These look like beautiful books as well. They're by Clover Press. And these are supposed to be like the true, like the best way you can read Terry and the Pirates by Milton Caniff. I think there's going to be 12 volumes total. Does it say here? I can't remember. But regardless, they've mapped them all out ahead of time, and it has a very nice connecting spine if you've seen pictures of them. This one will be 25% off cover price. So it'll be $74.99 if you shop with CGN. And I should have said the price of the X-Men book is $200 for the cover price. But if you shop with CGN, you can get it for $159.99. Then we have a big time reprint omnibus here for Marvel Comics. It's the Secret Warriors omnibus by Jonathan Hickman and Brian Michael Bendis. This will be $74.99, and it comes with 2 covers this time. The cover we're looking at right now is by Ed McGuinness. It is the direct market variant. And this cover had not been previously released. But this collects the entire run. It collects Avengers 13 and 18, where some of these characters are introduced, and then Secret Warriors 1 through 28, and a couple other issues on top of that. And then here's the other cover, which was the previously released cover when this was first printed. And I believe it was the only cover they had back then. But this is the standard edition cover. Then we have a Brian Bolland book. I think we have 2 different versions of the same book. Let me scroll down real fast and see. Yes, we do. So the first one's going to be a signed edition. And it will be cover priced at $83.99. Get it for 20% off at $67.19 if you order through CGN. Oh, we got a comment in the chat. Quake makes her first appearance here. I'm assuming you're talking about Secret Warriors. Low hit. Thank you for joining me, by the way. Yeah, I haven't read that run yet. I want to, though, because I love everything else I've read by Jonathan Hickman. And that's a run that I need to get to. But this is It's About Time, a memoir in pictures and words by Brian Bolland. It's an epic journey through the life and art of Brian Bolland. The book presents a visual journal of Brian Bolland's development as an artist, writer, and observer of the world around him. 336 pages, and it looks to be like a monograph of sorts. So it's kind of like, reminds me of like the Chris Ware monograph, where it's kind of like an art book mixed in with a biography type deal. So those are going to be really cool, especially if Brian Bolland's one of your favorite artists, which, I mean, he's an all-timer. He's great. Then we have another omnibus. This is Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider Omnibus. This will be, I guess, the second volume of sorts, but it's not titled as volume 2, but it does take place after the previously released Spider-Gwen Omnibus. and this will be $100 cover price. But if you order through CGN, it'll be $59.99, and this includes Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider 1 through 10, Ghost Spider 1 through 10, some King in Black stuff, Gwenom versus Carnage 1 through 3, Web Warriors 1 through 11. It looks to be about like 40-ish issues, 30 to 40 issues. And this is the DM cover that we're looking at. And this is the... Oh, wait, no, there's 2 DM covers. Okay, I'm sorry. There's 3 covers for this one. Okay, awesome. So here's another DM cover of Gwenom, it looks like. And then the standard edition cover is by Bengal. And that's what we're looking at here. No matter what cover you get, though, they are all $59.99. So you get to take your pick. Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Omnibus. So this is the 3rd Omnibus we have coming out next week. So it's a big deal. This had been previously, some retailers and shops got this a couple weeks ago. I think that was the benefit of the distributor itself, but now they're going to be getting the wide release. So we'll have this in stock and on sale on Monday, and we'll have it priced at $59.99. This is the Freddie Williams the second is the artist, and James Tynion the fourth is the writer. And this includes all 3 of the series. So Batman TMNT 1 through 6, Batman TMNT 2 1 through 6, and Batman TMNT 3 1 through 6. So 18 issues, but a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. The extras, they really padded this out with extras. There's a bunch of variant covers too. So you're definitely getting your money's worth by getting this one. So here's It's About Time Memoir and Pictures, words by Brian Boland, the regular edition. So the previous one is a signed edition, and that was $67.19. That one, if you want the signed edition by signed by Brian Boland, I would say don't hesitate. Make sure you order that on Monday when these come out. I always make a post the minute that Max, the guy that owns CGN, he sends me a text message and says the books are ready to go, and I make a post on social media saying, go get your books. And that way you know immediately when they go on sale. Another tip here too is to add to your wish list here. And then that'll also give you an email notification the minute that these go on sale. But if you don't care about the signature and you just want the book, $39.99 is the price for that version. So the book's exactly the same, I'm assuming. I don't know how the signature is, if it's like on the book itself or if it's a what do you call it? Like a tipped in page or a book plate or something like that. I don't know those details, but I know the book itself will be the same. Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game Core Rulebook. This will be $35.99 if you're into tabletop RPG type games. Here's the rulebook for Marvel. Spider-Man No Way Home, The Art of the Movie. These are the landscape format books that show off like the storyboards and the behind the scenes kind of stuff. They're pretty cool. That'd be $35.99. Larrigan Rides Again. This is by Book Palace. I don't know what this is. This is $20.79 if you shop through CGN. Following on from our best-selling first Larrigan collection, this volume of 4 stories completes the Lone Gunslinger, Larrigan's Adventures, reprinting Lone Rider number 14, Cowboy Picture Library number 455, Cowboy Picture Library 459, and 467. These atmospheric Western thrillers are reprinted here for the first time since their original publication in 1962. I love old Western comics. I'm going to check this out and see what this is. That looks really interesting. I didn't even hear about the first one coming out. Frontline War Stories by Gino D'Antonio. This is also put out by Book Palace and is also $28.79. It's 4 stories, showcase the spectacular art of one of the most gifted artists in Europe, Gino D'Antonio. All right, so he worked with Fleetway, it looks like. Interesting. So you get some more comics or Western comics. Oh, is this another one? Man, Book Palace is really pumping these out. Here's Captain Blood, another Book Palace book, also $28.79. 4 swashbuckling pirate tales from the pen of Raphael Sambatini, first published in the 1950s. So it looks like Book Palace is taking a lot of classic European comics that maybe have never been reprinted and putting them together. So that's cool. A Girl on the Shore hardcover. This is by Kodansha Ino Asano. Oh, so it's an Inio Asano book. He's the manga that did dang it, what was it called? It's gonna bother me now. I have to look it up. I know he did a Dead Demons did Destruction or whatever it's called. But what's the famous one he did? Inio Asano. Goodnight Poon Poon. That's what it is. Goodnight Poon Poon. This looks to be a 1-volume manga. Let me see here. It doesn't have a volume number, so I think this is like a one and done manga by Inio Asano, which he's always got like really like emotional, heart wrenching type manga. So if you're into that, $22.46 for this hardcover. Sandman Book 6 trade paperback. So these are the thick trades that they've been putting out. And this will be $20.99 if you order through CGN. And it's the perfect bookend for Sandman completists because it includes, let's see here, The Dream Hunters, which is an adaptation of the prose novel, and then also, trying to see here. Oh, The Dreaming and Beyond. Sandman Overture. That's what it is called, by J.H. Williams III. So it's like the bookend tales to Sandman. So if you have the first 5 volumes, it gives you the first 75 issues plus a little more. This gives you the kind of stuff that came out after that. And that'll be $20.99. BPRD Omnibus Volume 6 trade paperback. They've been pumping out these BPRD omnibuses that are just kind of like a rebranded version of the old ones. This is still the Hell on Earth story. So this was previously released as like BPRD Omnibus Hell on Earth Volume 2, I think. So they're just doing all the numbers chronologically of the omnibuses to make them all match on the shelf. That way you don't have like Plague of Frogs and then also Hell on Earth. They're all just the same line. Speaking of paperback omnibuses, and these are all standard size, by the way. This is the Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 2. So this gives you the next arc, the next 12 issues, which is Black Hammer Age of Doom. Also, Black Hammer Cthulhu Lees and the World of Black Hammer Encyclopedia. So those first 2 omnibuses of Black Hammer match the exact contents of the first 2 Black Hammer library editions. So these will be great to have on the shelf. Black Hammer is a great superhero universe. If you're kind of bogged down by the continuity of DC and Marvel, you want to try a new superhero universe that has a brand new continuity that you can, pick up from the beginning and go through the whole ride. Black Hammer is a great one. Abe Sapien, The Drowning and Other Stories trade paperback. This will be $20.99. Malcolm Kidd and The Perfect Song trade paperback. This will be $18.74. It is by Oni Press. Austin Paramore is the writer. Sarah Bollinger is the artist. So Austin Paramore and Sarah Bollinger strike a chord with this humorous, heartfelt story about love, loss, and legacy, and the music that ties them all together. So looks to be a nice family coming-of-age story. Stabity Bunny, Volume 2, trade paperback from Scout Comics. This is the Richard Rivera and Dwayne Biddix series. This will be $18.74, and it includes... It doesn't say what issues, but it is Volume 2. And if there's anything you want me to look up, if we have in stock, I can definitely look that up. See if we have like Stabity Bunny Volume 1, for instance. Lupin, Thick as Thieves, a classic manga collection by 7 Seas. This is the classic Monkey Punch manga with the classic character of Lupin III. They've been putting out these hardcovers that kind of like are best, greatest hits type deals, which is interesting. I kind of wish they would do like the entire collection, but as I understand, Lupin III has had like 1 million volumes, so it'd be kind of hard to do that. So this is the way they're going. Nonetheless, I love classic manga, so this will be a pickup if you are also like me. Swamp Thing Green Hell hardcover, $17.99. This is Black Label book written by Jeff Lemire, art done by Doug Mankey. This is a beautiful looking series, definitely in the horror genre, as Swamp Thing should be. But Doug Mankey is like perfect for that kind of art. It's $17.99, and it is 3 issues, but they're like oversized, but they're also like that magazine-sized Black Label type story. Like some of the Black Label books are just normal comic book size, but these are like the magazine size, which is really cool. And the hardcover will be that same trim size. Swamp Thing Green Hell is a must buy. Okay, so Lohit's he picks up, or he keeps track and stays in the loop with the weekly releases. So he's read this already, and he says it is a must buy. So I love Jeff Lemire, I love Doug Mankey, and I love Swamp Thing. So I agree. It is a must buy for me, and I haven't even read it yet. Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise Treasury Edition. This one is great. I can't wait for this one to come out. It's by Tradd Moore, and it includes the entire miniseries 1 through 4. Tradd Moore, this is his first series that he wrote, I believe, because he did the Silver Surfer Black with Donny Cates. He did what's the Image series that he did? Dang it. Hit, I know someone in the group just read it. Oh, Dan read it recently. What was it called? I know I've read it a long time ago. Image series. It's going to bother me. Crossover, New World. Oh, come on. What's it called? It's like the horror series. The guy goes through, it's like a bunch of fights. Luther Strode. Dang it. Okay. Tradd Moore did the art for Luther Strode, but I think Justin Jordan was the writer on that one. Oh, there we go. Luther Strode. You had to check the chat. I'm sorry. I think the chat's a little slow. Fall Sunrise. No idea what the story is, but the art is fire. Yeah, and Omar showed it off on his stream today, his live stream, and he showed off the Treasury Edition, and it looks beautiful. And I'm a sucker for these Treasury Editions. They're really cool format. So it's $17.99. Prism Walker, the Weeping Star trade paperback for $17.49 by Dark Horse Comics. The writer and artist on this is Sloan Leon, and it's a follow-up to the hit series Prism Stalker. The planet Ariatarka grows more inhospitable as its colonization at the hand of the Chorus continues. Vep and her fellow students are reaching to the end of their basic combat training in the pneumatic arts and begin to exercise their abilities outside the colony city of Elfristis. So it looks like to be like a sci-fi series. Cartoon show hardcover. What is this? Oni Press. Derek Ballard is the writer and artist. It looks to be like a landscape size style book, just based on that image. Cartoonist and animator Derek Ballard makes modern American family comics. It's not his fault that being a single parent in America is kind of a nightmare. Derek is a solo parent raising 3 kids in the American South while trying to make art. Told in a series of free-flowing and often hilarious comic essays, Cartoon Show gets to the heart of the struggle of a creative person in a society that doesn't value anything other than how much it can grind out of you. COVID, poverty, and the failing social safety net. All right, so it looks to be like a comic strip type series. $16.49, and it is a hardcover. Soggy Landing trade paperback by Oni Press. Alec McGovern and Ian Dinsford are the writer and artist. Not very long ago, Soggy Landing was an island paradise. Now it's a brutal settler city. A group of wealthy magical cultists rules from the top. A leafy plague afflicts all but the most privileged. This looks to be a fun series. Oh, we got Space Monkey in the house. Hello there, the middle of the night here in Sweden, but not being able to sleep sucks. Well, I hope I can, maybe I can be your ASMR and make you fall asleep. But thank you for joining me. West of Sundown Volume 2 trade paperback for $14.99 by Vault Comics. Aaron Campbell and Tim Seeley are the writers, and Jim Terry is the artist. The New Mexico town of Sangre de Moro has accepted its strange new residents, a vampire, her thrall, Frankenstein's monster, and the would-be mad scientist Griffin. But a new threat has come for the evil-saturated soil of the Mesa, Dr. Moreau and his strange companions. That sounds like a awesome premise. That's volume 2. Here's a book I'm excited about. Meg and Mog, Werewolf Jones and Sons of Summer, Fun Annual Deluxe Hardcover. So this is the Meg and Mog series, Werewolf Jones. I guess it's just called Werewolf Jones and Sons Summer Fun Annual, but it's the Meg and Mog series from Simon Hanselman, and it's done in the tradition of like the classic like European summer annuals that were hardcovers. And the Meg and Mog series, it's definitely for adults. It's definitely underground comics. Oh, we have Psycho Cleveland in the house. I have the book pre-ordered. So do I, Psycho. So do I. But it's definitely underground comics, but it's more of a modern take on them. You have a character that's a witch, an owl, a werewolf, a cat, and some other characters of that ilk. And it's like a slice of life story, but it's involving those types of characters. So you have like some kind of tongue-in-cheek commentary on that, as well as like just normal commentary. One of the great ones that came out with was Crisis Zone, which was kind of an out of continuity book, but it was what Simon Hanselman worked on throughout the pandemic, and he was posting them on his Instagram every day, these strips of these characters, and he's kind of putting these characters through the pandemic day by day. So whenever a news story is struck, he put these characters through that news story. That book is extremely for adults. Yes, because it's definitely underground comics, and like in the same tradition as like R. Crumb. Who are some of them? Johnny Ryan, I guess, would be up there too. I'm trying to think of the more offensive, I guess, underground cartoonists. But yes, definitely for grown-ups. It doesn't follow continuity of the regular series. This is a standalone fun time book. Okay, so it is like Crisis Zone where it stands alone. Because is it Meg's Coven? That's going to be like the next big one that Simon Hanselman's working on. Is it a new series or something older? It's not a new series. Meg and Mog has been going on for a while. I think there's 5 or 6 books that have been put out so far in collected editions. But Simon Hanselman does a lot of mini comics and stuff too that eventually get collected in there. But what I found, because I've read all of them up to this point, I've not read this one yet, is that they're all, you can kind of jump in on any of them, but they do tell an overarching story. So there's that, but they're a lot of fun, and like they're definitely for adults, but they're like dark sense of humor, and like when you get to it, like if you do read them in order, like by the 3rd book or so, Simon Hanselman really gets a voice for the characters, and you really get into some like mental health type deals, and some more like deeper issues and stuff within the story, which is pretty great. It's a couple standalone comics from the last year and its own thing. Yeah. Simon is working on You Will Own Nothing and You Will Be Happy right now, but has said he's going to put out Meg's Coven soon alongside this new book. Issue number 1 of You Will Own Nothing is out. It is. I've not even heard. Is that a Meg and Mog book though, Cycle, or is that a whole other thing? Because I don't know. I don't think I've ever read any Simon Hanselman that's not Meg and Mog. Please let me know, and then also message me on Instagram and let me know where I can get that, because I'm assuming that CGN doesn't have it if it's a single issue. But yes, this will be $14.99, and you can pick this up though if you've never read any Meg and Mog and you want to try something out. You can pick that up, but it definitely is not for everyone. I will warn you. But if it's for you, then you're gonna love it. Punchline: the Gotham Game standard size hardcover for $14.99. Lost Fountains graphic novel by Dark Horse. Alfredo Alamo and Jose Antonio Cotrina are the writers, and then Juan Babilo is the artist. This will be $13.99. The world known as reality in a world of shadows, nightmares, and horror converge in this graphic novel adaptation of Jose Antonio Cotrino's dark fantasy novel. All right, so it was previously a prose novel, and now it's being adapted to a comic. 1000 Disasters of Dort trade paperback. This is by Rebellion. Mike Butterworth is the writer, and Jose Ortiz and Jose Gonzalez are the artists. This looks amazing. The aliens from Dort have lost their world and now they want Earth. It is the year 2000. In 50 years' time, the planet Dort will collide with its sun and be destroyed. All right, so it's like an old classic sci-fi story from Europe, which I love. So it'll be $13.59 for that book. It's sold out quickly, but I might be able to hook you up. I'll check how many extras I have and send them out to people. I'll get back to you. Oh, Psycho, you're the best. Thank you, my man. Legion of X by Cy Spurrier, Volume 2 for $11.99. Cy Spurrier's writing X-Men in the Krakoa era, if you're keeping up on that. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, Volume 2, The Invader. That'll be $11.99. Time Before Time, Volume 4, $11.89. Spawn Origins, 26 trade paperback, $11.89. This is the David Hine and Philip Tan era and collects issues 154 through 160. Class War. So I was looking through the books, and this one caught my eye. It's by Image. Rob Williams is the artist, or the writer. Sorry, Trevor Hairsine is the artist. Love Your Country, Then Rip It Down. The critically acclaimed indie superhero hit gets its own paperback collection for the first time. Beloved super soldier, American, uncovers the dark truth behind the White House and burns the word liar into the forehead of the president on live TV. Now on the run with a rogue CIA agent, he intends to reveal everything he now knows to the world. Can his former teammates, the super team and Nola Gay, stop him? Sounds like an interesting premise. I love political thrillers like that. True Cult, I think this is how you pronounce this, by IDW Publishing. Scott Bryan Wilson is the writer. Liana Kangas is the artist. $11.89. So here's a premise. Marty Tarantella has been flipping burgers for 15 years. He has no kids, no hobbies, no love interest, and essentially no life. But what he does have is a plan to change everything. A strip mall heist, a satanic cult, and another lousy shift at a minimum wage job. Grab a number 2 with fries and settle in for a hilarious thrill ride. That was definitely not what I expected, but I kind of like that premise too. Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, Volume 6, Ascendant, trade paperback for $10.79. Miles Morales by Cody Ziegler, Trial by Spider. This is the new series for Miles. So it's $10.79. We have a couple Batman One Bad Day hardcovers. These are like the 80 to 100 page graphic novels, and they're coming out in hardcovers. And then we had that box set that's like an empty box with only 2 volumes in it. And then the idea is you collect these as you go and fill in the box. We have Clayface, that's $10.79, and Bane for $10.79. Star Wars, Thrawn, trade paperback, new printing, $10.79. Blue Beetle Graduation Day, trade paperback. This is $8.99. Who's the creative team on this one? Jose Trujillo and Adrian Gutierrez. All right. And this collects the first 6 issues. Class War, Dark Cap sounds intriguing. I agree. It does seem like a Dark Captain America. Well, I think that's exactly what it is. True Cult looks good. I agree. Yeah, Class War looks like it's like what Red Sun was for Superman, or all these other Superman stories that are like, what if Superman went bad kind of thing. I have One Bad Day Riddler, signed by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits. That's the one I wanted to read because of those two. I like their stuff. Young Alfred, Pain in the Butler. Get it? Michael Northrop and Sam Lotfi. This will be $7.79, and it is a young adult or all ages graphic novel. When Alfred attends Gotham Servant School, he is a clumsy and nervous boy going to fulfill his father's last wish. He will become a butler. So it's about Alfred being a young guy learning how to be a butler. And last but not least, Marvel vs. Kang for $5.99. These are the digest-sized books that collect kind of a greatest hits, or the stories you must know to get to know this character story, those issues. They're perfect to hand to new comic book readers, or maybe people that saw the new Ant-Man movie and want to read more Kang comics. That'd be the perfect book for them. But I believe that's it. While I'm going through the last minute plugs, feel free to ask any questions, and I will get to those in just a moment. But please follow us on Twitter at CheapGN and Instagram at CheapGN. Look forward to our weekly newsletter that drops every Monday, where I get to write up my top 5 books of the week plus my official Taylor Talks Comics pick of the week. So the top 5 books, and then the Taylor Talks Comics book is usually a book that from a smaller publisher, or at least not the big 4 if you count like Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, something else from another publisher. I think I already know what my pick's going to be this week, and you might be able to figure it out too from what we talked about. So look forward to that, but also we have email blasts, so you want to make sure you're part of the email chain so that you could get those. Like today, we had a email blast go out about our Nick and Dent sale. We restocked our Nick and Dent section. We have over 2,000 books added to that, so make sure you look in there for some great deals. Books up to 90% off in that section, and a lot of omnibuses that are like 55% off. And then make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I think that's it. Low Hit's asking me to Google Class War art. Do me like show it on air or do it like on my own? Let's just do it on air. We'll do it live. Class War comic art. Let me see if there's some interiors. I'm getting like a black and white comic from like the Undergrounds in the 70s. That's not the same thing. Image. Let me see. It is blurring some of the artwork. Is that because it's like censored? Here, let me try a different website because that's not giving me any interiors. I'm just getting covers and also some weird underground comic. Class War image. Trevor Hairsign art is awesome. Yeah, I don't see any air. Maybe if I look up the artist's name. Is it black and white? A little bit? I'm not finding anything besides black and white. Or his Valiant stuff. I don't know. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I'll talk to Low Hit off the air. Sorry about that. But thank you for joining me. We'll be back next week. I think next Thursday will actually be at noon, so our normal showtime. But just stay tuned on social media, and I'll let you know. He did Deceased with Tom Taylor. Okay, well, I know that artwork looks good. No, it's not. Okay. But thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good week, and make sure you're reading more comics.